Zeus, king of the gods, ruler of Olympus, wielder of thunderbolts, couldn't save his own son. Right? When Sarpedon fell at Troy, Zeus wept tears of blood, but he couldn't override fate. The most powerful god in Greek mythology was powerless against something greater than himself. Right? This isn't a plot hole. It's the key to understanding how polytheism works. That structure, a power above the gods, has a name. Scholars call it the Metadivine Realm, a primordial source of power that exists before and above the gods, the ultimate reality from which everything, including deities, emerges. Gods don't create this realm, they emerge from it. In Egypt and Mesopotamia, it's the primordial waters. In Greek religion, it's chaos, the formless void before anything existed. Right? Other cultures describe primordial darkness, cosmic spirit, or fate itself. The specific imagery varies, but the architecture remains constant. Gods come from somewhere. They're born, they arise, they emerge. This means they're part of the system, not above it. And that changes everything about how divine power works. Well, here's the first logical consequence. If gods emerge from something greater, they cannot be the source of all being. Right? They're powerful, immensely so, but their power has boundaries. Second consequence, any god's will can be countered by primordial decrees, by other gods, by fate. Third, even the collective will of all gods together can be thwarted by the Metadivine Realm. This explains why polytheistic gods scheme, compete, and lose. They're not flawed characters. They're operating within constraints. Divine knowledge faces the same limits. If a realm exists beyond the gods, it remains partially mysterious even to them. Right? Gods possess wisdom as an attribute. Apollo knows prophecy, Athena knows strategy, rather than as an essential characteristic. This is why oracles can fail, why divine plans go wrong, why prophecies get misunderstood. The gods themselves don't see everything. The implications run deeper. Right? The Metadivine Realm contains the seeds of all beings, divine, human, natural. Right? Creation stories describe life emerging from this primordial source, beginning with gods. Right? These accounts are called theogonies, right? Stories of divine births. Right? The primordial realm functions as the womb for everything that exists. Right? This reframes polytheistic creation entirely. Right? Gods don't make the world from nothing. The world, including the gods themselves, emerges from something deeper. Right? Everything shares the same origin, and that shared origin makes boundaries fluid. Because everything shares the same origin, the boundaries between categories are soft, permeable. Right? Gods aren't just associated with natural forces, they're frequently identified with them. Right? The sky isn't merely Zeus's domain. Right? In early Greek religion, the sky is Oranos, a god. Fire isn't just Hephaestus' tool, fire is divine. Right? Fertility isn't something Demeter controls, fertility is what Demeter is. Right? Worshipping nature and worshipping gods aren't separate activities in polytheism. They're the same activity, viewed from different angles. The divine-human boundary is equally permeable. Humans also emerge from the primordial realm, creating genuine continuity with the divine. This explains divine-human unions throughout mythology. Zeus and Semele, Poseidon and the mortal women. Gods and humans can unite because they're not fundamentally different kinds of being, right? They're different positions on a spectrum, right? Most importantly, this enables apotheosis, the transformation of a human into a god, right? Apotheosis isn't a reward, it's a boundary crossing that the system permits. Heracles ascends to Olympus after death, becoming fully divine. Roman emperors received deification, not just as political flattery, but as theological reality within the system. Right? Egyptian pharaohs live as incarnations of Horus. These aren't exceptions or propaganda, they're the system working as designed. When humans and the gods share the same primordial origin, the boundary between them isn't a wall, it's a gradient. Movement along that gradient is possible. Let's return to Zeus and Sarpedon with fresh eyes. Moira, fate, is the quintessential metadiving force in Greek religion. The word means one's portion or allotted share. Right? When Zeus considers saving his son, Hera warns him doing so would violate cosmic order. The Moirai, the three fates, spin, measure, and cut the thread of life. Clotho spins the thread, Lachesis measures it, Atropos cut it, and gods cannot undo their work. Zeus doesn't lack power, he possesses immense power, but he exists within a structure that constrains even him. And this framework transforms how we read mythology. When you encounter a story, look for what constrains the gods, not just what empowers them. The constraints reveal the architecture. When studying any ancient religion, ask, what is the primordial source? The answer maps the entire system. Egyptian Nun, the primordial waters, Mesopotamian Apsu and Tiamat, Greek chaos, Norse Ginnungagap. Each culture identifies a Metadivine Realm, and that identification shapes everything else, how gods relate to each other, to humans, to nature. This framework also reveals the fundamental difference between polytheistic and monotheistic structures. Right? In monotheism, God is the ultimate reality. Nothing exists before or above the divine. Right? In polytheism, gods exist within ultimate reality. They're the most powerful beings in the cosmos, but they're not the cosmos itself. Neither structure is more sophisticated than the other. Right? There are different architectures for understanding existence. The Metadivine Realm isn't a flaw in polytheistic thinking. It's the foundation. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Every myth, every ritual, every prayer operates within this structure. Understanding the Metadivine Realm transforms mythology from stories about powerful beings into maps of how ancient peoples understood ultimate reality. Zeus weeping for Sarpedon isn't a tale of divine weakness. It's a window into Greek cosmology, a cosmos where even the king of gods answers to something greater. The gods are real, their power is immense, and they, like everything else, emerge from the depths.